everything about him is interesting. And you can't talk about Jon Jones lately without talking about Aspinall. Can't go that far without having to answer questions about Pereira. They keep trying to ask him about Jones, but Jones has never called Aspinall out. Pereira called Aspinall out. Now, when people try to get Pereira and Jones together, Pereira has never called Jones out. Pereira called out Aspinall. Generally, this is the way it would work. When you have two guys that are trying to fight the same guy, okay? So you got two guys that you, the audience, and Pereira and Tom, and you're trying to get those two guys against Jon. Generally speaking, after a small period of time of going back and forth about who you'd rather see, you, the audience, gets those guys against each other. Tom has patterns. As fighters, we all have patterns. I have patterns. Everyone has patterns. It is up to the opponent and the opponent's team to study and find those patterns. And then he talked about Tom and how when Tom comes in, says sometimes he lunges, sometimes he jumps, sometimes he slides in. King talked about the fact that Tom can be very fluid, he can be very technical, he can also brawl. I mean, it was a good breakdown. It was very accurate. King just said, but he has patterns. He didn't say what those were. He said he has patterns. And if you're going to take that and put that against Jon, Kane credited Jon as being the highest IQ'd, most intellectual fighter in the history of the sport. Talked about Jon Jones, like everybody, can break a fighter down and sit there and watch tapes, but Jon is a student. Jon will watch it over and over and over because he's looking for a pattern. And if he doesn't find the pattern, then he knows he missed it, he rewinds it, and he watches it again. This is Kane talk. And there was something about it that was very nice to see Jon get a little bit of due, quite frankly. Not to mention it being from Kane. Right, we're all pulling for Kane right
now. Fight fans, welcome back to Luxury Tainments. Today, we're diving into a potential heavyweight showdown that has the MMA world buzzing. Jon Bones Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Will the seasoned veteran cement his legacy, or will the rising star dethrone the king? Let's break it down. UFC President Dana White's recent fight announcement has inadvertently increased the pressure of Jon Jones to face interim heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall. It's been suggested that Jones, who last fought Stipe at UFC 309, would require a fee around $30 million to consider fighting Aspinall, who is currently on a 3-fight winning streak with all victories by first-round knockout. Some speculate that Jones is intentionally avoiding Aspinall due to the threat he poses, but Jones maintains it's more about wanting to fight established champions rather than contenders. A potential fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall would be a fascinating clash of experience versus momentum. Here's a breakdown of the advantages and disadvantages, favoring a Jon Jones victory. Unmatched fight IQ and experience. Jones has faced elite competition for over a decade, defeating legends like Daniel Cormier, Glover Teixeira, Cyril Gane. His ability to adjust mid-fight is nearly unmatched. Elite wrestling and grappling. Jones' wrestling is on another level compared to Aspinall, who hasn't faced a dominant grappler like him. Jones could neutralize Aspinall's striking by taking him down. Reach and range control. Jones has a 84.5-inch reach, one of the longest in UFC history. He uses oblique kicks, teep kicks, and elbows to control distance. Cardio and championship rounds experience. Aspinall has never fought past the second round in the UFC, whereas Jones has dominated in 5-round wars multiple times. Mental toughness and adaptability. Jones has been in deep waters against fighters like Gustafsson and Reyes, but always finds a way to win. Aspinall has never been tested in that way. Now let's look at the disadvantages for Jon Jones. Age and wear and tear. Jones is 36 and has had a long career with multiple injuries. Aspinall is younger, faster, and has taken less damage. Speed disadvantage. Aspinall is one of the fastest heavyweights, both in striking and movement. If Jones struggles to close the distance, Aspinall could land early shots. Power gap. While Jones has great technique, he lacks knockout power at heavyweight. Aspinall has devastating punching power and could hurt Jones if he connects clean. Long layoffs and rust. Jones has fought only once in the last 3 years, whereas Aspinall has been active. Ring rust could be an issue. Now let's look at Tom Aspinall's advantages. Explosive speed and power. Aspinall moves like a middleweight and has crisp boxing with knockout power. If he lands clean, Jones could be in trouble. Well-rounded game. Aspinall is not just a striker. He has a solid ground game, as seen in his submission win over Volkov and Tibura. Youth and fitness. At 30 years old, Aspinall is in his prime, with superior speed and reaction time compared to Jones. Confidence and momentum. Aspinall is on a hot streak, finishing most of his opponents early. He fights with confidence and aggression. Now the disadvantages for Tom Aspinall. Unproven in deep waters. Aspinall has never fought past the second round. If Jones drags him into the championship rounds, his cardio could be exposed. Wrestling disadvantage. Aspinall has good grappling, but Jones' wrestling is superior. If Jones forces a clinch-heavy fight, Aspinall could struggle. Lack of elite level opposition. Aspinall has yet to face the very best heavyweights. Jones, on the other hand, has beaten multiple champions and Hall of Famers. Leg kicks and range management. Jones' oblique kicks and front kicks could disrupt Aspinall's movement, making it harder for him to close the distance. If Jones keeps the fight at range, uses kicks and elbows, and forces clinch exchanges, he can wear down Aspinall. If Jones takes the fight to the ground, he can dominate with wrestling and ground control. If the fight goes past the second round, Jones' experience in deep waters will give him a major edge. The key for Jones is avoiding a fast start from Aspinall and slowing the fight down with clinch work, kicks and takedowns. If he does that, he's likely to win by decision or late submission. The GOAT, Jon Jones, isn't without weaknesses. At heavyweight, Jones' mobility and cardio will be tested more than ever, and against a dangerous finisher like Aspinall, any lapse in focus could be costly. Now let's talk about Tom Aspinall, the British phenomenon who's taken the heavyweight division by storm. At 31, he's in his prime, riding a 3-fight win streak, all first-round knockouts. Here's what makes him a formidable threat. Speed and explosiveness. Aspinall moves like a middleweight in a heavyweight's body. His ability to close the distance and land heavy shots is unmatched in the division. Next, his ground game. Aspinall's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt ensures he's a threat both standing and on the mat. Lastly, his hunger. Aspinall has everything to gain and nothing to lose, making him a dangerous underdog. Aspinall's rapid rise means he's yet to face someone with the caliber of Jon Jones. Experience could be his Achilles heel, and questions remain about how he'll handle a 5-round war. For Aspinall, the game plan is clear. Start fast and look for the finish. He'll need to pressure Jones early, cut off the cage, and use his hand speed to land clean. If the fight hits the ground, he'll need to capitalize on any openings quickly. Dana White's recent comments have added fuel to the fire. While Jones has expressed hesitation about fighting Aspinall, citing a lack of legacy appeal, White is confident the fight will be finalized. And let's not forget, a win for Jones solidifies his GOAT status even further. For Aspinall, this fight is a career-defining opportunity.
How far can you go with Jon Jones? Because we're not going to know, guys. One thing that's going to end, and we can either accept it today or we can argue about it tomorrow. But we're never going to know how good Jon Jones is, was, or could have been. We're never going to know. His career, for sure, will end without him showing us that. Without him entering a big tournament, for example. Or taking on a busy schedule and taking on 4 guys in 15 months. Max Holloway style, like that just isn't in the cards. And it is interesting, and I love to hear what Kane said, and I found out something about myself, and I still don't know why. But I like that Jon was given credit for that, and for the successes he had, and for what he did well, and that for the first time ever, somebody's spoken up and said, Jon can go with Tom. I have never even heard that. Everyone said Tom will crush him, Tom will go right through him, Jon will never do the fight, it's over in 1 minute the first time Tom touches him. I keep hearing these things, and I'm going, guys, could it be? Could that even be true, what you're describing? Could that even be true for a human being to be able to do that with somebody at this level? Talked about Jon Jones, like everybody, can break a fighter down and sit there and watch tapes, but Jon is a student. Jon will watch it over and over and over because he's looking for a pattern. And if he doesn't find the pattern, then he knows he missed it, he rewinds it, and he watches it again. This is Kane talking. And there was something about it that was very nice to see Jon get a little bit of due, quite frankly. Not to mention it being from Kane. Right, we're all pulling for Kane right now. Everything that he's going through, and he took some time out and he went over and did that. But Kane is not also just a guy that fought at the same time. That was the potential opponent. I mean, when Cain Velasquez was here and Kane was on fire, the talk of Jon Jones going to heavyweight did not exist. In fact, it was pretty clear. If Jon would like to stay champion, stay at 205 pounds. And you're great and you're a great champion, but you're not him. And that really was a belief. Kane was just too forward, too aggressive, and too big. I do believe that to be true. But does Kane believe that to be true? I mean, that would be very fascinating. That would be very fascinating to hear about that. There's a fight. Most of you won't know what happened, and those of you who know what happened.
Whether you're Team Jones or Team Aspinall, this is a fight that will shape the heavyweight division for years to come. Will Jon Jones add another chapter to his legendary career, or will Tom Aspinall shock the world? Only time will tell. That's it for today's breakdown. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth fight analysis. Until next time, fight fans, stay sharp and have a great day.